Good morning, everyone. Leanne Cohen's here. Welcome to the Digital Success Hot Seat. Today, I am really excited because I have another digital marketer coming on today who has so many years' experience in the digital space. And one of her passions is actually teaching business owners how to create their online course. So strap in, because I think we're going to have some really great tips and information today. So, welcome, Michelle. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Awesome. So, firstly, tell us a little bit about yourself. What made you get into digital marketing in the online space?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll give you the short version. So basically, I've been in business since I was 21. I started a fashion brand and I was in that company for 10 years. This is back in New Zealand. And I built that brand up and that was before like the online space was even really a thing. I remember I had my first website and it was like I had total website shame, which I think everyone's had in their life at some stage. And I just had no freaking idea. Anyway, cut forward to a few years, I actually ended up closing that business down. My heart just wasn't in it anymore, and it freaked the hell out of me because I thought, this is always what I've wanted to do, and what am I going to do now? But I jumped off the ledge and I bit the bullet and I just went with my heart and my intuition and I followed that, and then I moved to Australia. And I thought I'm just going to take sort of a year off and see what happens. And being the entrepreneur that I am, I think I lasted like 6 months before I started my next business. But I got into the personal development world. I got into speaking, public speaking, and running events. And I started running wellness events. So I was doing retreats all over the world. And what happened with that was the whole online space was beginning to sort of come alive, and landing pages came about, and email marketing and all of this kind of stuff. And I kind of got my geek on, and I wanted to learn about all of this stuff. And I figured that I needed that to drive traffic to the retreats that I wanted to run, so that I could fill them with amazing people and people that I wanted to attract the right type of customers and the right type of clients. And so with the help of my VA, who I still work with, I've been working with her for about 7 years now, I think. We built this.
That's a long commitment.
Yeah, a long time. So I've been in this game a while now. But we built an amazing website together with my background in branding and my love of fashion and styling and all of that kind of stuff. I just had that creative flair. And then she had the digital skills to sort of build the website. So we created that. And then I started learning about lead pages. ClickFunnels wasn't really like a big thing back then like it is now. Lead pages was really the go-to for landing pages. And so I remember I used to sit up for like hours and at night and just build landing pages and geek out on how to do this and how to connect all the technology and all the things that most people hate. And so through that process of trying to learn how to do it for my own business, I started getting people asking me, like, who built your website? How did you do it? How are you building these landing pages? And how are you doing that whole back end of your business? And so I started teaching people how to do it. And then one thing led to another. Years later, where I am now, I don't do anything really in the personal development world, even though, coaching and mentoring and, doing that kind of stuff for people in the digital space, it kind of goes hand in hand to get through our fears and to do the things that we want to do in our life and business. So now I have a digital marketing agency. So I've got a media company called Unicorn Empire Media. And that's basically what my focus is now, is teaching people how to take their businesses online. And we also have the done for you service. So, much like Marketing Leap, your company, we do similar things. And yeah, I love it. I love the whole creative process. I love the tech. And because I'm self-taught, I can now teach, show my team what to do. Yeah. So I attract the clients, I have the initial conversations, see what we can do to help them, and then I pass that on to my team, and I can actually I'm that conduit between the client and the technology and the experts that know what to do to create a beautiful product, and I think that's the missing link link with a lot of people. So I've got that knowledge to now have like an overview, a high level view of what needs to be done, but I don't do all the doing. So that's basically where I am. That's kind of a long story. That was a short version.
Actually, it's funny. I remember when Lead Pages came out, and it was like so exciting. And you look at it now and go, wow, we actually worked with that. Which is quite funny. And that's
come a long
one
way.
thing. And one thing that I found really interesting is, like, you know, you have a digital agency, I have a digital agency. And what I love about this whole space, though, is there's so much that you can do with collaboration. Like there is with the online space, there really is no room for competition. Like there is no competition. And that's one of the things I find with a lot of clients is they don't actually realize that, you know, not everyone is going to resonate with you, but you're going to still you'll attract the people that want to work with you.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think once people get that into their heads with the online space and the digital space and how that works, it makes life so much easier.
Oh, so much easier.
With all this experience that you've had for the last since 2014, what are some of maybe the top 3 challenges that you faced?
The main one, I think, is that this industry is always growing and evolving and changing at such a fast pace. And we're, I guess, looked to as the experts in this industry, but it is changing so fast that sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I can't even keep up with all this new technology. And people are looking at me like, do you know what to do? And half the time I'm still having to learn and keep up and I'm learning from other people. And I'm always like what you say about collaboration, like I'm always trying to learn from other people because this is such a fast-paced industry that the speed of the technology is really challenging to keep up and remain to be a leader in this space and remain to be in the place of knowing what you're doing so that you can effectively help your clients and help other people and also for me teach other people what's coming through and how to do things, because also I do the course creation. A lot of people, especially with COVID and everything that's going on in the world right now, so many people are going digital and creating online courses. So keeping up with all of that so that I can effectively teach people is one of probably the biggest challenges in what I do. And another one would probably be, this is just a human thing and we all battle with this, as I say that we have these 2 voices in our head. One, I call her the little bitch, and the other one is my cheerleader. And that's like that's a constant daily battle as a business owner or just as a human to be able to effectively choose which one to listen to and turn the volume up on that day in and day out and make sure that you just feel the fear and do it anyway and keep moving forward. And as a business owner, you have to just be solution based and every challenge, see it as an opportunity to grow and to do better and to learn more. So that's probably another challenge, just being human and
that is that thing, having that internal dialogue going on in your head all the time of questioning whether you are doing the right thing, or if you are, what if people find out that I don't really know everything?
What if people find out I actually don't have my shit together?
And I think that
everyone thinks that.
Yeah, and it's that's having groups and like groups like Digital, Success with Style on Facebook, and that was the whole reason for doing this hot seat is to put it out there so that business owners can see that it doesn't matter how much experience you've got, you're still going to have days where you wake up in the morning and go, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's it's good to know that other people are in that place as well, and people that are, I guess sometimes we look up to, or we see them as further along in their career or their, success. We look at them and think, they've got their shit together and I don't. But everyone has these challenges, everyone. And that's what I actually love about digital marketing today, is the more transparent you are within reason. You still got to have a professional brand and, don't be a blubbering mess online. But the more transparent you can be about who you are and the challenges that you have and how you've overcome them, that's actually going to attract clients to you, because we're in this whole era of personal branding and people buy from people that they know, love and trust. And when you can be vulnerable about that and show your weaknesses as well as your strengths, and you really own your strengths, and then you can find other people to come into your team to, to pick up the slack on your weaknesses, and those are their strengths, and you build a really solid team, and you also build a lot of trust with your target market. So I think that's really important as an entrepreneur online, to have that level of transparency and authenticity.
And that's the thing, people want to work with people. So it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, they still want to connect with you. And that's, like, I find with websites, getting business owners to understand that your About Us page is the second most visited page on any website, because people want to connect with you. They want to see who it is that they're doing business with.
Yeah, gone are the days that we're like hiding behind a logo or a company brand. People want to know who the owner is of the company. And it doesn't matter if it's a personal brand or not. They want to know who's the CEO, who are they actually giving their dollars to get a job done, and what are the values of that person, what are their beliefs, are they aligned with that? And I think that's sort of the area of marketing that we really focus on, is that real human connection, because we've lost that a lot through social media, and digital marketing has kind of just lost its personality and its connection. Yeah,
and it's ironic, like the more time we spend online, the more connection we want with other people. So it is very interesting. So what are some of your like top 3 wins that you've had when it comes to being online? And
I feel like it's I mean, I've been doing this for so long, it's been kind of like a slow burn, and it's taken a wee while. Like it took a few years of just consistency, and I think it was just when it, you just feel it shift and things get easier, and it's like there's no real rhyme or reason for what's changed. It's just like over time of being consistent and staying dedicated and doing what I've been doing by putting content out, connecting with my database, nurturing them, giving free a lot of value and free gifts and all that kind of stuff, and just showing up all the time. There comes this turning point where everything just shifts, and people start coming out of the blue wanting to work with me. I get messages in my inbox all the time, and people say they've been following me for years and now they want to work with me because I've finally built that trust with them, and they've got to a point where they actually need one of my services or my products, and when they get to that point, then I'm the only logical choice because I've been there consistently in their mind. So that's been one. The other one was
I might just say it's quite interesting with that, because I mean, I know we've had this conversation before, but I remember one of the first events that you put on at your Belada retreat. And I remember sitting there sort of watching you and 2 other incredible women that are killing it on the online space here on the Gold Coast. And I was just in awe of I want to say audacity. I was just in awe of the fact that you guys put yourself out there. Like it's, here we are, and this is what we do, and this is how we can help you. And that's the thing, I think, for a lot of business owners when they first start out, is I want to help people, but I don't want to show up. I don't want to be the center of attention, and I know the biggest thing for me is, well, what's everyone going to say? And
afraid of being seen and judged and what people will say.
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, every time I start having those thoughts, it's like, well, is that person actually paying my bills? So they're not paying my bills. So and it's been amazing. So I've been one of those serial stalkers that's been stalking you for years online, but watching you grow and watching your brand develop and change, and it's just been amazing to watch. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it takes time.
It does.
You don't just show up and go, "Today I'm here."
Yeah.
You've got to build that. So
you do. Yeah, and it's the longevity. I'm here for the long haul. I'm not here for overnight success, although sometimes it feels like it just shifts like that overnight. But it's because of all of the work that you do behind the scenes and everything that you do on a daily basis consistently, which then shows up as one day you're all of a sudden you're successful, and all of a sudden you've got this amazing life, and everyone's like, how the hell did she do that? Well, I showed up every single day, and I worked hard, and I did the things that sometimes weren't fun, and I did the things sometimes I didn't want to do, and I just stayed true to myself and my vision and where I wanted to go. That's how you become successful. That's how you have a long-term longevity of your business that's successful. So yeah, it's not always easy showing up and being seen and being judged. You just got to like dust those haters off.
Exactly. So consistency and showing up and being authentic. What's another tip that you would give to someone who is sort of starting out and going, oh my God, I could never do that?
Yeah. I think a lot of successful people in any business, it really just comes down to your self-awareness and your ability to shift your mindset into a more positive frame of mind more often than not, because we're always going to have that person on our shoulder telling us, that voice on our shoulder telling us that we're not good enough, and that cheerleader saying, yeah, you actually can do this, you've got that, you've got this. So saying, what would I say to someone? I would say just show up consistently, decide on what you want to do, decide on why you want to do it. You need a reason bigger than yourself, outside of yourself, to actually do this. Otherwise, the days that you wake up and you're like, oh, this is too hard, if you're only just doing it for yourself, then, you'll just stay in bed. So having a why, a reason.
Unless you've got kids, then you don't stay there.
I don't have them. So I've just got my fur babies. So I just think it's all about your mindset. I still work really hard on my mindset. I read books, I listen to audiobooks. Like, you should see my morning routine. It's intense. And it's got a lot involved around personal development and what I'm feeding my mind.
Step us through that, because you often hear people talking about morning routine, and I know as a mother coming out the other end now, where my boys are now, they've got their own lives and they're starting to develop who they are and start their own. My eldest actually came home with a book about the art of not giving a fuck. So I think it might have been a title that attracted the 18-year-old. But he came home with a book.
That's good. Like, give them what they want, deliver them what they need, right?
Exactly. So for me, it's now shifting the focus from being all about my children to now I've got to work on myself. And you hear people talk about these morning routines, and it's that mindset shift of, well, now you have to focus on you, and that's not selfish. It's okay. That's what you need to do. So what does your morning routine entail? So
I've actually just kind of upped my game a little bit more in my morning routine. I've always had one, and so as long as you're doing your morning routine more often than not, because mine, it shifts and changes. I have a basic routine that I follow, and then sometimes I'll up my game and I'll shift gears and I'll be like, I'm really dedicated to doing this, and I'll do it all day, like all the time, every day. So first of all, in saying this, like, I don't want people to beat themselves up if they're not doing this every single morning dedicated, because personally I fall off the wagon as well. But when I'm doing this, when I'm doing my morning routine, I am so much more motivated. I feel better about myself, and I actually I have a few different versions of it. And when I find myself waking up not being motivated, I haven't got my to-do list done yet for the day, I haven't prepared, I haven't planned, and then that's when I lie in bed, and then I check my messages when I wake up, and then I get stuck on social media, and then it's just this bloody downward spiral, and then I'm like, oh shit, I've got to get up and go to Pilates if I'm actually going to start this day and do it properly, So those are my bad days. The good days are just recently, I wake up to natural light. Like, I have my curtains open. I live by the ocean. I see the sunrise over the ocean. I'm very fortunate, and I love that. But more recently, I wanted to change things because I want to up my game in my business as well. And I know that starts with me, with what I do in the morning, with the routine that I have, and how dedicated I am to that. So I resisted for so long buying those Alexa little speaker things, because I was like, someone's always going to be listening to me.
Google's
I put my whole life on social media anyway, so I'm having a personal brand, so who cares? Anyway, so I bought one. I bought a few actually, and now they're around the house. And so what you can actually do is you can plan routines in those. And what I found was I hate waking up to an alarm. Absolutely hate it. I find that I'm way more tired if I do that. So I thought, if I can't wake up to a natural light, what can I do to wake my body up slowly and so that I feel good and it's not just like, oh, fuck, I'm awake, you know? So I set a routine on my Alexa, and I've got this yoga flow. She's listening to me now that I say her name. I've got a yoga flow playlist. And so that turns on at 5 a.m. and it's just playing really calmly in the background, and that wakes me up. So usually after a few minutes of that, like probably by about 5 past 5, 10 past 5, I've woken up enough to be like, oh, I'm awake now. And it feels the same as when I wake up to natural light, because it's a slow graduation. It's not just like a bolt up, right? So I think that's really important. The process of waking up is so important. It's going to make you tired or not. So find a way that actually makes you feel good when you wake up. And then so I'm usually up by 5:15, 5:30 at the latest. And then I'll go straight to have a shower. I have to have a shower and get ready. It doesn't matter if I'm going to go and do exercise. I don't care. Like, I need that to just get me in the mode and, you know, set for the day. So go and do that. Then I'll come back into my yoga mat. I'll do yoga. Then I'll do meditation. And then I come downstairs and I have a lemon water every morning. And then I take my dog for a walk. I've got 2 dogs. One of them's too old to go on a walk on a lead. So I take one of my dogs for a beach walk. And that's usually when the sun's rising now. So I've just I don't miss out on sunrise, because I used to be like, oh, I want to watch sunrise from bed. And, you know, that's my routine. And I don't want to change that. And I was really dedicated to it. Now I get to be on the beach, which is amazing. And then I always listen to something motivational. So I'll either do that on YouTube while I'm getting ready in the morning, and then also when I'm walking, I'll listen to an audiobook. And then when I come back, I'll make a smoothie, make sure I've got all my goodness in my body physically for the day. Then I take my other little dog down to the beach and let him just roam around and off lead and have a nice little, you know, quiet time on the beach. And then I'll come back and so this morning I had Pilates. I do that 3 days a week. So my morning is really just basically filled with me time. It's like exercise, motivation, learning, motivational video, learning something, meditation. It's like mind, body and soul until round about this time. So the earliest I'll start meetings is actually 9 a.m. I usually don't until 10. And then after that is, the rest of my day. So that's basically how my day rolls out. And then I've got a few things on my list that are like non-negotiables that I do every day that, keep me in check and make sure that my business is running properly and,
Perfect. Wow. It sounds like a great way to start. I think my PT would love it if I got up at 5:30 because it means I'd actually get to him on time.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's the way that you wake up, I think that's the really important thing, and being excited about what you're going to do. The funniest thing is when I think about my to-do list, that is what motivates me and gets me out of bed. So if I write that the night before, then I know what I'm going to do. As soon as I get up, I'm like, okay, well, I've just got to do my morning routine and do my exercise and all of that. And then I can get to my to-do list because I just love getting through all of my stuff. If I don't do that, it's not as motivating. It'll make me jump out of bed if I know what I'm doing for the day.
Perfect. Planning. So really for someone that's sort of starting out, it's really showing up consistently, getting your mindset right, and starting your day the right way. And so when it comes, what is something from the digital side that you would say to someone sort of starting out, where they're looking okay, so I'm getting the mindset and I am starting to show up, now what?
So it depends what they want to do online. What I was going to say earlier actually is one of my other things like a big win that I had that I'm really proud of was, I remember the first day that I woke up and I'd made a sale of an online program, and I was like, I just made money in my sleep. This is awesome. So that's one thing that I would share with someone who's looking at going into the online space, who has maybe someone who's got, they already have a service that they offer to people, and they work with people one-on-one or maybe one in a group, and it's something that you can teach other people. I would 100% say put that into an online course. This is one of the main things that I teach, is how to build online courses. And in our day and age now, especially with what's happening around the world, it's really important to be able to have an online offering. And if you've got a brick and mortar business and that gets shut down and you don't have any way to serve people online, then that's a big problem. So I would say to someone who is either starting out digitally or already has a business and wants to go online, would be to create an online program, because it is one of the best ways that you can leverage your knowledge. You build it once and it's done, then you've just got to market it. You just got to get leads, drive traffic to it. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah. And if you put the time and energy into doing it properly, and then you learn from someone who's done it before and who knows how to do marketing, or you work with a company like yours or mine that can help them to market it, then you've got an asset that you can leverage for years and years to come. And I think people, they discredit how much of an asset that actually is. It's like creating a service that doesn't need your time anymore, and you can just keep selling it over and over. Like, that's amazing. And that's something about the digital space that I'm so passionate and excited about, that this has given us the opportunity to be able to sell wherever we are in the world at any time, and to be able to take our creative genius, put it into a digital product and sell that over and over again. That's massive. And I think people don't actually get how big that is and what that can do for your company, your freedom, your income level. It's amazing.
It's a real mindset change, isn't it, though? From like, I know even with my business, when I started to scale, handing things over to somebody to say, okay, well, you do this now, and stopping yourself from going, no, give it back, because that's not right. It's that mindset change of, you know what, you don't need to be involved in every step of the way. You know, if you do have an online course, you create it once, you can go in and tweak it and change it as you know, the situation changes, but it's there.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Perfectionism, that's another thing I'd say to people that are starting out, like, done is better than perfect, and it's good enough, and just put it out there, and then you can tweak it along the way, because there's no point in spending hours and hours and hours or weeks. For some people, like months or years, they've had this idea of an online course, or they've started creating it, and they're just like, oh, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. Whereas me, I'm like, I've got an idea, I'll create a landing page, I'll do the first module, I'll sell it, and then if people bite and they buy it, then I'll build the rest of it. And then I'm like, always one step ahead, you know? And that's the way to really build and scale, so that you don't spend your time and your money and your resources wasted on something that potentially people don't want.
Exactly. So how can people actually work with you? So you teach people how to do an online course. So you obviously have an online course.
Yes, I do. Yeah, people. The first step would probably be, if you're starting out to do my 5-day challenge, I've got a 5-day build your course challenge. And in that, you can really learn the basic fundamentals of building an online course. And then from there, my advanced course is a 4-week course. It's called Shine Online. And it's literally like the whole process from concept idea right through to creating your course, selling it, marketing it, online social media, and then how to repurpose and reuse that content for other things. So that's a fully advanced course for people who are really serious and dedicated to making this work for themselves and in it for the long haul, like you and I are. So those are probably the best offerings for someone that wants to create an online program. And then obviously my company, Unicorn Empire Media, we do all other aspects of digital marketing and social media management and things like that. So I've got lots of like free gifts. If you go to my Facebook page or my website, there's heaps of things you can download for free just to learn and to get to know me. And then, you know, through my marketing, I'm sure you'll be offered something somewhere, and I'll maybe offer you a course or, you know, sell something to you, and then we can work together. But I think it really just starts with getting to know each other and learning.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to connect with Michelle, all her contact information, and I've tagged her in this as well, so you can reach out to her and
yes, come say hi.
Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on the Digital Success Hot Seat, where we interview incredible experts about their online journey, their challenges, their tips, what's worked for them, what hasn't. So if you're really enjoying this series, I'd love it if you would just hit the subscribe button below, and also hit the bell, so that way you get notified every single time we upload a new interview. I really appreciate you joining us, and let's get on with it.